Hey folks, welcome back to another Pawn Masters video, and welcome to the official reveal of the 3.5 year anniversary units. Not really, that's a joke for legal reasons. But anyways, so look, I feel like there might be some there to what we're about to discuss in terms of what the 3.5 year anniversary units could be, right? I'd say there's a pretty strong chance. So anyways, let's just get right into this. We are looking at the last week of this month's Champion Stadium, and usually this is a decent indicator of what we could potentially be seeing in either next month, right, or before anniversaries. Although they also do try to obscure it and try to hide it, but if we want to say, you know, solely based off of this, if the 3.5 year anniversary units are just literally, you know, 3 of these types, right, which is the last week here, right, we pretty much would probably know what the anniversary units are. So if you look at the last week's weaknesses per type, we have Malva weak to dark, then we have grass weak, fighting weak, psychic weak, and ground weak. What did we have last year, right? Look at what we had last year. Last year we had Anniversary May with Latios, Mega Latios, and then we got Tornadus and Dynamax Flygon, right? 2 of them sub-legendaries. And if you look at the pattern, right, is there you know, some sub-legendaries that could fit some of these types? Maybe. Look at this. Dark, fighting, and psychic. What does that fit with, ladies and gentlemen? The Galarian birds, right? Articuno, psychic flying, Zapdos, fighting flying, Moltres, dark flying. So this is pretty much like the predominant, right, theory at the moment. And if they're gonna base it off the weaknesses here, that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? That would make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And not just that, right? Because for the run-up to the anniversary, it's kind of odd when you think about it. Like the run-up to the anniversary has been 2 things. One is they reran Leon, gave him the G-Max, right? Reran Leon, gave him G-Max. And the other thing is they like also reran the Marnie event for some reason, which is like, why? Because, you know, the Marnie just got featured pretty recently, right? Got reran pretty recently. Not the event itself, right? But, you know, they just ran the Marnie event. They threw Leon in there. And that's 2, you know, Galarian characters. So could it be possible that we might have a Galarian 3.5 year anniversary with these 3, right? Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, which again, fits the freaking weaknesses, right? And not just that, if you look at you know, characters we've been getting recently per region, not that Galar has been like the least, but so far we haven't gotten a single Galarian character this year. The last one was Halloween Alistair, right, which was a while ago. And Galar is still the one region that we haven't really, like, Galar's, I feel, not even feeling, I'm pretty sure Galar's the region with the least amount of, like, or the most amount of characters still not in the game yet. There's a difference about, you know, between those. But, yeah, I mean, there's still a ton of Galarian characters not in the game yet. Obviously, all the DLC characters and, you know, legendary birds, they're from the DLC, right? And also, you know, some gym leaders here and there, all that stuff. But look, the chances of getting like a new character for like an anniversary, it's not impossible, right? It's just not like super common-ish, right? Because the most recent one was Ash, right? But then the other 2 are like alts, right? Or Cynthia, Thunderbolt Red. And then before that was like last year again, just literally just 4 alts. Alt for Serena, alt for May, alt for Raihan, alt for who's the other one? Skyla, right? And even before that, you know, Blue Leaf, whatever, Steven, and Lily, those were all alts, and just like what, Red wasn't an alt. And if you want to count like Diantha, well, Champion Iris technically an alt Iris now, right? And you know, Leon, right? That's a big one. Leon came out as a new character, right, along with Marnie and the likes. So it's not impossible that we do debut like a new character as the anniversary unit, right? Although if you do kind of think about it, there's not like too many like new, not yet introduced Galarian characters that really fit with any of these birds. Like maybe you could say, I don't even know, like Peony. Not really, but he's like, you know, the only like major character in in Crown Tundra, right? But hey, what if it could be another scenario where, you know, you get the first half, or not first half, but you know, maybe if you look at the other sets, right? There's, you know, there's also a grass weakness in there, right? So could we get something like a Peony with Calyrex? I know we already have like Ice Rider, but it's just like Calyrex, right? Could be grass, could be psychic, which is again another one of these weaknesses, grass psychic. So could it be one of those? Okay, we got Peony with Calyrex to debut again. Peony, maybe. Although it would be slightly odd if we get Crown Tundra characters before Isle of Armor. Although we did get again the Ice Rider Calyrex earlier, so you know, I don't feel like that's like a huge issue either way, but you know, we'll see, right? But yeah, again, they just gave us this recent Gmax Charizard, so I feel like the chance of them going with a Galarian sort of anniversary would make some sense, right? Would make some sense, and again, Galar is also another of the regions, and if they do want to give us some, you know, Master Fairs, right? Galar only has one Master Fair leader, and it's the oldest one, which is Leon, right, with the standard flag bearer, so they're missing Spirit and Soul, or Pride and whatever. Yeah, those two, right? And I think Pride and Spirit, right? So yeah, Galar could still get that. In terms of like, how would they pair these legendary birds? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, right? Could we get like a B alt with Zapdos and a Bead alt with Articuno maybe, and then someone else with Moltres? Piers alt with Moltres? maybe. I mean, if you know, they really want to shoehorn the types in there, right? Which, you know, they don't have to shoehorn in the types. It's just that, you know, maybe they're not that popular. But I mean, like Bead B and Bead and B and Piers are relatively popular, right? They're pretty popular, so yeah, it's not impossible, right? We just got the Bead Synchro further expansion recently too, right? Him being the fastest unit to get one of those Synchro expansions since he just came out like last year, right? So yeah, I feel like it could be a possibility over here. It could be a possibility. Legendary birds, some Galarian character alts, right? Or maybe Leon could be with one of these, another Leon alt, because again, it's been a very long time since we've got our last Leon alt, which was Calyrex, right? Which was what, two Christmases ago? So yeah, it's been a very long time since a Leon alt, and obviously Leon's a pretty big, popular character, all that stuff. So could we get another Leon alt during this? Maybe, but you could also argue that, oh, we just got the Leon rerun for the old one, so maybe they're not gonna do something over there, right? So yeah, that's also a possibility. So the other thing to consider over here, right? Well, what if it's not the Galarian birds? Could it be possible that they're just not basing it off of these types? It's possible, but I'd say, you know, at least one of them, right? Because if you do look at last year's, this is what they had of that week, right? And if you do look at it, you don't have the types, right? The only one you have there is Psychic for Anniversary May, which was the first one to come out, right? So that makes sense. They only have one weakness for them, and then the week after, right, that's when they gave the Dragon Week, the Flying Week, right? So it's possible, and obviously we don't know what's coming the week after yet, right? So, all right, what if that's the case? What if that's the case? Then, you know, how are we gonna look at that, right? Because again, it is possible. So let's just look at some more legendaries over here to see what other possibilities we could probably get. So again, last year it was Megalodios and Megalodios, Flygon, and Tornadus. Also, it doesn't mean it has to be a legendary Pokemon, but it just feels like legendary Pokemons would probably make a bit more sense for anniversary. I mean, you know, the last full anniversary we got two Pikachus and a Lucario, 0 legendary Pokemon. So, yeah, they could give us some of the other stuff too, right? But all right, so again, looking at the weaknesses and the legendaries, let's look at the sub legendaries first, because again, I do feel like having sub legendaries during the 0.5 anniversaries makes a bit more sense, right? I mean, so far most of them have been, again, unless you count Zygarde, right? Yeah. They've either been you know, sub legendaries outside of Zygarde, or just like non-legendaries, right? So looking at some sub legendaries that fit at least one of those types, right? I guess Uxie, Mesprit, Azov, you know, those aren't in the game yet. Psychic, obviously, but I don't feel like. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm dropping either of these during that. What else we got? Virizion, right? There's Terrakion and Cobalion, but like, I highly doubt they're gonna make them fighting type. You know, if they're gonna drop them, I'd say make more sense if this is rock and this one's steel, right? Slash, we do kind of have a Cobalion in the game. Not that it's, you know, great or whatever, but, you know, it's there. But Virizion as a grass fighting, you know, has 2 of the types, so maybe they, you know, of the first of the 3, or however many they want to drop during the anniversary, the first one could be Virizion for the first week, and then, you know, afterwards they'll drop something else, which is possible. But look, again, also, if you do look at the schedule though, right? The 26th, if they do drop the unit on the 26th, which is possible, right? That means, like, and usually they have like a day in between, right? So by the time the 3rd unit comes around, it's gonna be what, Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday or something. So it's not like the entire week's over, so they could maybe have just 1 that matches the types of the Champion Stadium, or 2, right? So if they're not just going with 3 Galarian Birds, they could do like match 1 or 2 of the types. As for any other options, I guess Landorus is ground, even though we got a Landorus recently, but you know, it sucks, so be nice to have another one. Tapu Lele, obviously Psychic over there, and Tapu Bulu, grass, right? So could it be something like, okay, we're gonna go with the Tapus then instead of the Galarian Birds, and these are gonna be the first 2 that comes out, and then another one's gonna come out later, which matches a type of the 2nd week, right? So, you know, it could be something like that. What else? Where to have Pheromosa, Buzzwole. I don't feel like they're gonna give us any Ultra Beasts. I don't feel like they're gonna give any Ultra Beasts, just because the Alolan Villanark, right, is clearly coming next, right? Barring anything weird happening. Alolan Villanark's coming up next. It's probably gonna start in June or May. May or June is probably when we're gonna get the Alolan Villanark, and it's probably a bit too early for us to get UBs here. I would imagine Alolan Villanark at least gets, like, you know, 1 or 2 of these UBs, because, like, look, it's not like we have all of them yet. We're missing like 6, right? Nihilego, Xurkitree, Kartana, Guzzlord, Stakataka, Blacephalon. That's what, 6. Yeah, we're still missing 6 UBs, so it's not like we have them all yet, or it's not like, you know, Alola Ark's gonna give us all 6. No, that's probably not happening. But I'd say, you know, at least they'll give us like 2, 3 UVs during the Alola villain arcs. I don't feel like we're getting much in terms of Alola stuff. I don't feel like we're gonna get a lot of Alola content in general, just because a few things, right? Because Alola has not had too many units in a bit, right? But however, they did give us 2 units recently, being Annabelle, which is not really Alolan, but you know, has an Alolan theme skill at least, right? With that, so that's what counts. And then you have the Palentine's Mallow this month. So I feel like they and before that, right? Before that, the last summonable Alolan unit was SC Lily in April last year, and then you know, the last summonable Alolan unit not named Lily was like Luzamine the December before that, right? So yeah, it's been quite a long Alolan unit drought. So I feel like them giving us 2 Alolan units this month probably means that we're not going to get any Alolan for the anniversary, but we're going to get a lot of Alolan stuff coming with the Alolan villain arc, right? So that's why I don't feel like Alolan's going to be a huge factor for the anniversary. Again, it could happen. I just don't feel like it's as prominent of a option. The other one could be, you know, Urshifu, right? We have Rapid Strike at the moment, but they could go with a single strike Urshifu in the anniversary, and then, you know, again, that fits both dark and fighting, and they could drop Mustard, right? Again, they just did Leon, or reran Leon and the Marnie thing. So what if they're just going for some Galarian sort of anniversary, and then they could just introduce Mustard in there. Mustard with Urshifu, again, would be pretty good timing there. Pretty good timing. Because here's the thing, I don't feel like, if you're wondering, oh, why won't they save Mustard and Peony or whatever for the Galarian villain arc? I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they have time to worry about the DLC characters during the Galarian villain arc. The Galarian villain arc is gonna be more about Macrocosmos probably. Obviously Rose, Chairman Rose, and Oleana maybe gonna be in there as well. They're not gonna be worrying too much about Mustard or Clara or Avery or whatever, right? Peony, etc. So this would be a pretty good time to introduce Mustard in here as well, right? So again, they could do Mustard with Urshifu as well, and also they haven't reran Dojo Gloria, so they, you know, good time to rerun Dojo Gloria too, because they reran Singsu Karina recently with the Select Scout, so they could do one for like Dojo Gloria during the anniversary, right? As for some of the other ones, none of these. Obviously, I don't want to see those. We're not getting Scarlet Violet characters yet. Most likely. And as for like any main legendaries, first of all, I don't feel like there's any left that really matches the typings, right? I mean, also we've got like almost all of them, right? Like our main legendaries are even missing at the moment. We have these, we have all these are all in the game. Nala, Necrozma, Zacian, Zamazenta, like literally they're all in the game. Calyrex even. Yeah, we have all of them. So I mean, gonna give us a shiny version of one of these? Maybe, but you know, I don't know. In terms of shiny versions, I don't feel like it, man. Like Yveltal? No, not really, right? We've been getting a lot of Kalos stuff. The 2 regions I don't feel like are gonna show up during the anniversary is gonna be Kalos and Alola. I feel like those 2 are the ones that are least likely to show up or have any representation, because we just had the Kalos villain arc, and right after, a month after, I guess, right, we're probably gonna get the Alola villain arc, so those are probably not gonna happen. So yeah, so none of these others fit. Like shiny Zamazenta, shiny Mewtwo. Shiny Mewtwo could be low key a decent option. Although I don't think it's gonna happen, just because like shiny Mewtwo, like for a half-year anniversary, I don't know, right? I mean, it's not like they haven't done any hype stuff during the the Leon, Singsu Red, those all came during the half-year anniversary, right? So, and those are massive units, obviously. So could they do something like a shiny Mewtwo and Leaf? Because here's the thing, of all like the big popular characters, popular characters, they're going to be rerunning a lot. They're going to be giving a lot of alts, all that stuff. And popular characters usually are champions and pro tags, right? Those are the two big ones, right? In terms of trainer class, champions, pro tags are generally the most popular. Obviously, that's not like a complete statement, but and if we look at the pro tags, one pro tag has not been back in like a very, 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 very long time, or had anything at all, which is Leaf. Literally, that's the last Leaf we got was at the 1-year anniversary with Mega Venusaur. It's been 2.5 years, right? That was the last Leaf we ever got, man. We've gotten no Leaf in just all this time. No Leaf at all. And Leaf, obviously, a pretty popular pro tag, right? I mean, all pro tags are popular. Like, she's the last one. Like, she's the longest without, like, an alt. All the ones that at least got an alt, right, so far. And obviously, the Celine and Elio are, like, completely... They don't even know who they are. Come on, Celine and Elio are going to get alts during the Alolan middle arc, right? But, yeah, like, outside that, right, it's Leaf. Leaf has not gone, like, look at Dawn. Right? Or Hilda. Hilda's plenty, right? Hilda, even Rosa, who hasn't gotten anything since the first year as well, right? She's gotten stuff recently. May obviously gets a lot, right? Serena gets ton, and even the Johto ones, right? Chris and Lyra. What? I'm trying to type with one hand, man. It's not working. Lyra, Chris, and Leaf has just gotten nothing. Leaf has gotten nothing, so could they do something with the Leaf, maybe? Right? Maybe Leaf, Shiny Mewtwo? Probably. Yeah, good. Possible, right? Because, again, if you're, like, there's just two ways of looking at this. We can guess what the Pokemon is, or we guess what the trainer is, right? So, again, Pokemon, solid chance could be the Galarian Birds, but trainer-wise, right, Leaf is definitely one character we have, one popular character that we have not seen in a while, so that could definitely be an option, or like maybe a Shiny Mew, Shiny Mewtwo, right? Whatever. Just Gen 1, there's five legendaries in total, so yeah. As for any mythicals, if we're looking at regions again, right? If we're looking at regions, like I mentioned, Kalos, Alola probably not getting anything anytime soon. As for the other ones, Kanto, I know we just got obviously Ash and Red, Thunderbolt Red for the 3rd year anniversary, but it's just outside of them, Kanto has not really gotten anything, right? Kanto has not gotten anything. It's like New Year's Sabrina at like New Year's last year, and then like before that was just like Kanto Villanark, right? Kanto Villanark, one New Year's Sabrina in the middle, and then these two. So Kanto actually, again, has not gotten anything in a while. And if we look at the theme of this 3.5-year anniversary run-up, the 3.5-year anniversary run-up has been champions, right? Leon's coming back. We're getting those tickets to pull for a chance of those old Poke Fair champions, right? Steven, Cynthia, whatever. So could we get something with Blue as well, right? Could we potentially get something with Blue? Because, you know, Blue was super popular character. The last summonable? Can't speak, man. Summonable Blue was Aerodactyl, which also has been a while. I know he's gotten 2 other ones, right? But those are free units. They I mean, the Executor is pretty good. Arcanite's not terrible either. It's just can't really use it too much off type, right? So can we get something with Blue? Maybe, right? Could we get something with Leaf? Maybe. All right. So that's in terms of Kanto. Can we get some with Sabrina? No, probably not. But yeah, Kanto hasn't gotten too much. Johto, obviously, we've gotten a lot, right? We gotten a lot last year. Just Johto Villanark, all those units, Johto Villanark, and then on top of that, we got the 2 Evolution ones, and then the Christmas was straight up a Johto Christmas. Both Christmas units were Johto / Holiday, whatever, right? And then Hoenn, I don't think we're getting Hoenn, man. Like, holy, the Hoenn Villanark, right? Last year's 0.5 anniversary, we got a Hoenn unit. The 2-year anniversary, got a Hoenn unit. right? Even after the Hoenn villain arc, we got Wally, and then this year, New Year's, we got Lucia. So Hoenn probably not happening. Kalos probably not happening. Alola probably not happening, right? Sinnoh, I'd say maybe not either, right? You know, it's not like we've had a lack of Sinnoh characters. Also, New Year's, we got her. Last year, again, we got the Sinnoh villain arc. Cynthia, right? Also, like, what like Sinnoh character would they really trot out there for the anniversary anyways? Obviously the big one, Cynthia, but you know, she's literally just gotten an anniversary unit last anniversary, so and would there be any like character that really fits the theme? I don't know, right? We just got Dawn too, so Lucas Alt? I don't know. So yeah, probably nothing much in terms of Sinnoh, right? So I wouldn't really, maybe like Barry. Yeah, I don't see too much happening with Sinnoh there either. And the other one, Unova. Unova is one I do feel like is likely, right? Of the most likely regions, I'd say Unova, Kanto, and Galar, right? Unova is pretty likely too. I know they just got their villain arc, but like it's Unova. They're just gonna like cram Unovan characters into the game. Like they you know, it's a region that ignores all the rules, right? There's like 20 Unovan characters each year. So, and it's just that like Unova, they just also have the legendary Pokemons that fit the weaknesses, right? With something like, again, like Virizion, right? Because if they do something similar to last year, where they just did like one from each region, one from, you know, a different region. So last year we got Unova, Galar, and Hoenn, right? And you know, they could do something like that this year. They could throw in Virizion from Unova. They could throw in I don't know, something from like Kanto, and then like something from like Galar, right? Calyrex or whatever, or something like that. Maybe not Calyrex. Calyrex and Virizion at the same time doesn't make too much sense, but they could do something like that, right? Instead of all three being just Galar, the Galarian birds, instead of like something like that, it's just like one from each region, right? So Unova, yeah, I feel like Unova has a possibility just because it's freaking Unova, right? And you know, there's just a lot. There's a lot they could really go for in terms of sub-legendaries, right? Cabalon, Tracheon, Virizion, Thundurus, Landorus, right? That's like, what, 5 right there? And then there's like the mythicals. Well, I mean, they already did Keldeo, but like Meloetta maybe, alright? I think that's the last mythical. Hey, that's Psychic, right? Also can turn into Fighting, right? Hey, fits another one. Fighting, Psychic, Meloetta, right? So, yeah, that's also a possibility, I feel. What's the other region? No. That's all the regions, right? Yeah, that's all the regions. So Galar, Unova, Kanto, I feel like are probably the most likely to get something this anniversary. And then the tier after that would probably be like Sinnoh or Sinnoh, maybe was one tier lower maybe, and then after that maybe Johto and Hoenn, and then after that I feel like is Kalos and Alola. Yeah, in terms of like what region characters we could throw in there. But as for like the characters specifically, I mean, if they do give us a Unovan character, I don't think it's gonna be N again. I mean, it's possible, but I don't really think it's gonna be N again. But you know, if they want to pair, like for example, if they're gonna give us Virizion, who the hell are they gonna pair with Virizion? I don't really know, man. There's not too much like character that has much to do with Virizion, unless Marshall. No. Is there a big popular Unovan character that hasn't been back in a while in some form or another? I mean, we basically got all the popular Unovan characters, right? Elisa, recent and recent. Hilbert Hilda, obviously, right? Recent. Iris is recent enough. Rosa's recent enough, right? And again, Hilda again. Ingo Emmett, maybe Ingo Emmett, maybe Ingo Emmett. I mean, you know, it's been a while, right? Although, but here's the thing with Ingo Emmett though, right? It'd be awkward if they only come out with one of the two, but then if they do like both of them, that would also be slightly awkward for the anniversary. So, yeah, that's the thing with Ingo and Emmett, I guess. Maybe Caitlyn. Caitlyn is pretty popular, I guess, as well for an alt. But you know, outside of them, it's not Nate, maybe. I mean, he is a pro tag. I don't know if he's like popular though, but or finally get an Alder alt, because again, the champion theme, right, for the run up to the 3.5 year anniversary. So we could get like some champions, right? So Alder is an option, right? He's one of the rare champions that hasn't had an alt at all. And again, Blue we've talked about, right? The other one is Lance. Lance also hasn't gotten something in a while, right? Last one was obviously New Year's Lance. So it's been a while since Lance got anything. So, oh yeah, that was the one other Kanto character I was thinking of. Yeah, Lance, right? So Lance over there could also make some sense. Could you pair up Lance with one of the Galarian legendary birds? I could totally see that happening, right? And then people are gonna, you know, meme him again for being the dragon type trainer with another flying type Pokemon. But it's possible, right? I mean, Lance with Galarian Moltres, right? Or Zapdos? I don't know about Articuno, but maybe one of Zapdos or Moltres for Lance. I feel like that could be possible. Give Articuno to like Blue, maybe, right? But you know, outside of that, I mean, or he could just get like one of the regular birds, non-Galarian ones. But yeah, Lance and Alder and Blue, probably, right? Lance, Alder, Blue, Leon is the other one. Leon hasn't gotten anything in a while either. The ones that do have, obviously, are you know, Diantha. We're not going to see a Diantha. Cynthia and Steven. Diantha, Cynthia, Steven, and Iris, right? Those are the four that have gotten, yeah, stuff recently. So, yeah, if we're going to go with champions, Blue, Alder, and Lance. And for those wondering, oh, well, what if they do a Neo Champion event during this? I don't feel like they're going to do that. I feel like Neo Champion events, like the last one we didn't get on an anniversary, so why would another one be on an anniversary, right? I mean, anniversaries don't even, you know, do like villain arcs, like unless you count like the second half of the second year anniversary with the Kanto, right? So yeah, those are some champion options that they could really trot back, right? Since they are going, and also Wallace. God damn, man. But he's Hoenn, so you know, I don't feel like, again, I just don't feel like we're getting Hoenn, right? So yeah, the others are possible, right? Lance, Blue, Alder. So yeah, anyways, I feel like that's most of the things that we could really cover, right? Again, just Galarian birds are probably the most likely one if they literally just go by 3 of these weaknesses from this last week, which would make sense. But there's also the chance that, again, you know, it's not all the weakness. It's only like 2 or 1 of the 3 units that are coming out. As for like, is there any like non-legendaries that we could really think of, or in terms of like characters? Oh, let's talk about some like new characters instead of alts, right? If they're doing any new characters, not yet in the game. Again, I feel like it's too early for Scarlet Violet. Hisui, I don't know. At this point, I feel like Hisui just might not happen in this game. There's not too many like big new characters that haven't debuted in the game, right? Like Annabelle's a pretty big one, and they didn't drop her during the anniversary, right? They dropped her during the villain arc, which, you know, makes sense for a character. But I guess some any like big ones, like I guess like Palmer, maybe Palmer, or Riley. I don't think like Riley is gonna be like, oh, it's an anniversary level unit, like, cause like, again, if you look at the new characters that have debuted during an anniversary, it's been, I think, 3 total, right? Red, Ash, and Leon. So like, Is Palmer a big character? Is Riley a big character? Relatively, right? But are they like Ash, Leon, and Red? Probably not. Probably not, right? So again, I don't feel like the chance of a like new character is likely outside of, again, something that maybe they could do with the Galarian DLC characters, right? So maybe like Mustard, maybe Peony somehow, right? Or Clara, Avery maybe. So yeah, that's the possibility as I could probably see with the anniversary coming up. So if they again do something like Avery, Clara, they could give us the slow bro, right? Which I guess matches like one of the weaknesses. So maybe, right? Maybe. So anyways, they can make like one of them poison. Obviously they're gonna probably make Clara as poison and Avery's like psychic. But are they that big enough to be an anniversary debut character either? I don't think so too, right? I don't think so. So like if there's anything, it's probably just really Mustard, I'd say. Maybe Peony, right? So alright. Anyways, that's this one, I guess. Hope you all enjoyed, guys. Think in the comments up below. Like and enjoy the videos for channel, some more Pokemon Masters content. Let me know what you guys think they're gonna do with the anniversary. And yeah, have fun, folks, and we'll see what they do, and we'll see you guys in the next one then.